What's up, everybody? This is Jose with Oakland Latinos United, welcoming all of you to Live with Jay number 63, tapping in out here in the East Bay in the 510. Today, we're going to have a special Live with Jay, an interview with a homie from San Jose, from the 408, from the east side or the evil side of San Jose. And that's the homie Raza del Soul, who's going to be tapping in with us soon, and we're going to talk about his life and the stuff he's done in the community and some of the community work he's done, his DJ work, his music work. He's put together events like the Solettos Ball. He's done oldie shows in Oakland and San Jose and all around the Bay Area. And he collects vinyl. He connects vinyl oldies and old school music. So we're going to talk to that brother as soon as he's in. Hopefully he's in the, let me know in the comments if you're here, bro. Like that, I'll send you the link for you could tap in with me and we could get it started. But hopefully everyone's good. What's up, Tree Cop? You see the shirt, brother? Big Surge out here tapping in with us. What's up, the Shortcuts, East Bay 510, the homie Cepeda, you know what I mean, and everybody else who's out there. So if Raza del Soul, if you on here, bro, leave a link down there. And oh, there he is. So I'm gonna the homie Matt is feeding me vato. So I'm gonna send you the link, bro, and just tap in once I send that link, and we'll get it started. I can't talk too loud today because my brother's sleeping. He works in the mornings now, and he sleeps in the next room, so I can't be hella loud like I normally am. So I gotta keep the voice down a little bit, but we'll still have a cool conversation. What's up, Big Mike? So if Raza del Soul is in there, I put the link, tap in. Right now, I'm only going to have Raza del Soul in, and later on, we'll see if we add more people to the discussion. But for right now, it's just going to be me and Raza del Soul talking about him growing up in San Jose and what's up, Don Suave, and some other stuff. So I left you the link, carnal, so just tap in, and we'll get it cracking. We'll get it started. So I'm just waiting for him. He says he's on here, so I just sent him the link. So hopefully he'll be tapping in right now. But yeah, man. So what's going on with everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday. You feel me? Hey, bro. Let's tap in. Let's tap in soon. We could do an interview like this live instead, bro. You know what I mean? Let's work it out. I'll hit you up after this live is done, and we'll work that out, bro. But let's do it. There he goes. There's Raza del Soul. He's tapping in. What's up, brother? How you been?
Hey, what's up, eh?
Shit, I'm glad.
Not much is.
That you joined in today. I've been wanting to do more interviews with community people.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
week I did a interview with the homie, Against All Odds, him.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I did a. I don't know if you
Much
got.
love.
I don't know if you got a chance to check that out, but I did an interview with him last time about his life and about his work with PTSD and working with psychological and indigenous movements in the Bay Area and in the Central Valley. So now we're going to talk to you, Carnal. Let them know your name and where you from.
For sure, for sure. And name's Jose. Most people know me by Mad or the homeboy Mad. From Raza del Sol. Which is a mixed bag of things. I have an online record shop. I do distribution, and then I also have a record label as well. But I do a shitload of shit, man.
Yeah.
I probably have too much on my plate.
So we're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top of your life. You know what I mean? That's how I like to do it. Well, first of all, I want people to know, I think the first time I actually met you, I think we talked on the internet back in the days, but I want to say the first time I met you was when you did an event at UC Davis, the Pachuco event. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. I felt like we was already rapping before that, man. That was the first time
I might have met you
we
before that.
shook hands.
Yeah, I think I might have met you briefly before that.
It might have even been before that, though. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that's the event that I remember, where I really got a chance to really talk to you man to man, and we talked about Pachuco history and about the Bay Area history and all that good stuff. You know me, bro. I've always been passionate about Bay Area Chicano history.
I think you made a speech.
Yeah. I talked about how
Yeah,
the zoot suit riots happened in Oakland and in the Bay Area in the
right.
40s. Yeah, so that was dope. I remember that was dope. That's if those of you who don't know, that was the picture I posted on the advertisement of this, where I'm wearing a zoot suit and you're wearing the old school cholo vest. That
Yeah, yeah,
was at that event. That was at UC
yeah.
Davis in what's that? That's in Davis, California.
Yeah, it was in Davis. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, by Sacramento.
Yeah,
So let's start at the bottom, bro. So where are you from? Where were you born and raised?
for sure. So, first and foremost, appreciate you having me on. I know you uh, been hitting me up for a minute, so we finally made it happen.
For
Uh,
sure.
I definitely been following what you do for a long time, just because you got love for Oakland, like I got love for San. You know what I mean? And dabbling into the history. I think the first time I got wind of Children of Violence was through your channel years
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
That's feeding me. I thought that's feeding me because, like, um, I know I'm jumping on topic, but just
Yeah. No, it's
just
all
so
good.
the folks know, I think that's feeding me because, like, a lot of folks don't even know, man. It's like they just think that Bay Area, Northern California, or especially someplace like Oakland, it's like black dominated, or the Chicanos are more influenced by the black culture, but that's not always so.
Yeah.
And even in Oakland, that's not always been so. Probably more so now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the estilo, the cultura was definitely alive and jumping,
Oh yeah.
for a very long time,
I
right there in
tell
Oakland. So
I tell these mensos all the time, the younger folks that be on here, that the reason why I like the old cholo styles, because when I was growing up, and I think Big Surge Treetop is on here. I'm wearing his shirt.
yeah, shout out to Treetop, Big
But
Yovos.
I remember growing up with fools like him and my brothers and all them, and they were like cholo style bands, 501,
Mm-hmm.
winos and Pendletons. I remember that style, bro.
Yeah,
So, and that was in Oakland. That wasn't in San Jose
right.
or in some other city, bro. It was in the town. And I remember San Francisco too, the Mission, fools
Yeah,
were all pachuco with the Pendletons and the
yeah,
free stuff bands, and that's what I remember. You know what I mean, when I was growing up. So for sure, the Bay Area
right.
definitely had a strong Chicano influence at one point.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
San Jose as well. And we could talk about that, how like things like Lowrider magazine and Teen Angels started in that area. But we'll get to that. So
Yeah,
again,
we'll get to that.
let's start from the bottom. So
Yeah, let's do it.
where were you born? What part of San Jose were you raised in? And how was your upbringing in San Jose? Was it violent? Was
Right,
it gang infested? Drug infested? How was it?
right. So I come from a family of farm workers. So
Okay.
on my mom's side, they all farm workers. My mom was a farm worker. My grandma was a farm worker. My grandpa was a farm worker. Um, a lot of my tios and tias farm workers out of a small town in Tulare County,
Okay.
East Side Poros. So that's where my family's from. They're going back to the 50s. Um, and on my dad's side, we're like uh, we're basically Indio mutts. On
Yeah.
my on my, I was talking to my wife just recently. Like just looking back. I remember like times when growing up, because it's like everyone goes through that. You go to school and all of a sudden you have a project that year about Native Americans. You choose a tribe or something and you do a little project or something. I
Yeah.
remember when I had brought it up to my dad, he had like enlightened me and said, "Hey, we're Native, right? We're mixed with this, we're mixed with that. Apache, Tarahumara. Where our family comes from in Zacatecas. My dad's Mexican. He's from Mexico, from
Okay.
Zacatecas. And but I remember my mom distinctly saying, like, "Don't tell him that." Like, no somos indios,
It's like that. It was that
you know what I
temple.
mean? But a lot of going back, like I remember my dad, he was doing the bead work. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to Mexico once in third grade, and they were doing danza, and I like the Mexica style, but
Yeah.
their own stilo. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. So my dad definitely embraced it. Whereas my mom probably felt different. because of colonization, all of that mumbo jumbo. But yeah,
Well, yeah, that's typical. We've
they
been taught
moved to
that we're
my
not.
mom. My mom was working. She came because my family been back and forth, back and forth. So my mom came to Porterville at like the age of 9, was working in the fields, and met my dad. I don't know, in her early adult years, and it was kind of
Yeah,
because you know, working in the fields is not easy, homie. You know what I'm saying? It's tough.
I bet.
So
I've never worked it, but I bet.
yeah, it's not easy and shit. So when my dad had more dreams to like be something, like he came into this country to better himself,
Yeah.
and Silicon Valley was jumping, a lot of good jobs. So, my mom kind of escaped working in the fields, moved to San Home. My dad came to San Home for opportunity, and that's kind of how I came up. So I remember moving different parts of San Home when I was a kid, but eventually where we settled was on the east side. Uh,
Okay.
there's this little project, these little housing projects called Pensacola projects.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never heard of that area. Believe it or not, bro. I've heard of some hoods out there, but I never heard
yeah.
of that area. And
Pensacola, Pensacola is really small. It's so basically, Pensacola's right in the barrio of Palmas, which is the larger neighborhood.
okay,
Uh, you know,
that's a loyal Patmos, right?
yeah. It's an old neighborhood. They call it Palmas because there's a lot of palm trees in the area, and then all the streets are uh, like they all got tropical names.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's
Like,
why that shopping center is called Tropicana.
yeah, that's why it's called Tropicana. It's kind of like Hayward. Hayward has Palmacia.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, but Sanjo, we kind of have. It's kind of funny. Like it's similar in many ways because we got all the same streets: Pensacola, Florida, Havana, all those different streets and stuff like that. But they're all named like that. I remember doing some research on it. They're just kind of attract people to move in.
Oh, okay.
But what do you call it? But yeah, that's where New Style came up out of that same neighborhood, which was the first car club in San Juan. Was a New Style car club. I believe their founder Andy Douglas was the one that invented the hydraulics kit. Um,
Oh,
he
okay.
he didn't invent hydraulics, but he invented the kit, like the first commercial kit. You could just buy the kit, slap it in
Oh,
your car, and boom, it jumps.
so that was created in San Juan.
Yeah. It was created right there in Sano. But my neighborhood was like, it's kind of on the edge of Palmas, right up against the freeway, the 101 freeway. It's probably, to be honest with you, and probably why people don't hear about it too much because it is small. It's only a couple blocks, and it's always been like a black neighborhood, and
Oh,
probably San Jose's only surviving black neighborhood. Uh,
interesting.
yeah. Um, and because as I was told by OGs and shit like that is uh we had like Crips in our neighborhood going back to the 70s and 80s, so way before Colors,
Yeah.
way before Snoop Dogg and all of that. They was already Crip in there. A lot of Samoans, SOS, a lot of Crips. You know what I mean? And that's the neighborhood I grew up in. And by the time I was coming up, it was like a mixed bag. A lot of the black families they already had kicked out. There's still a few there, but most of them they had kicked out. They tried changing the name of the neighborhood from Pensacola to San Jose Apartments, and then we had a lot of Nicaraguenses that had moved in, kind of that were refugees.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, a lot of Nicaraguenses, a lot of Nicoyas, Chicanos, Mexicanos, Usos, blacks. And I think my neighborhood was the only hood that was like that, to be honest with you, on the east side. So I grew up
Yeah,
a little different than, what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Other people. My hood was more diverse. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. So, what era would you say you were like a kid and a teenager?
Um, um, '80s is, I'm an '80s baby, '83.
Okay.
You know, 80s baby, got my game in the '90s.
Yeah, which was a rough era.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah.
how was it growing up in the east side of San Jose? Period. Was it a dangerous area? Was it bad in that, especially in that era, in the '90s, late
Yeah.
'80s?
Well, it's funny. It's like, I mean, I grew up in the hood, man. That shit was hella grimy. Like, yeah. I kind of look back now. You know what I mean? Because I got kids, and I look back at like the shit that I was doing at their age, and I
Mhm.
and I look at my kids. I was like, what the fuck was wrong with me, man? And I laugh at it all the time because it's like I look at my kids; they're so sweet and innocent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, how could anybody do those things? But man, I mean, it was the projects. Back in the '80s, everyone used to know Pensacola as a drive-through. People would drive through, pick up whatever they needed. A lot of prostitution, a lot of rocks, a lot of PCP. Uh,
Yeah. KJ,
that's what they used to call the hood, PCP, because a
yeah.
lot of PCP was getting ran out of there.
Was it KJ or was it Sherm?
It was KJ.
Yeah, they used
Yeah,
to smoke that shit out here a lot in Oakland.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers used to love that shit.
yeah. Trust me, I know. Trust me.
Yeah. Um,
Allegedly, at one point, I used to know where to get it.
allegedly.
Trust me, I know. I know about KJ.
Yeah, I know a little bit about it, KJ too.
I never tried it. Oh, hell no, I was always scared to try that shit. But
Turn your
no,
head
no.
into a pumpkin.
Yeah, screw that, bro. Like that full set in colors. This weed, Pee Wee smoked that stupid shit. I don't.
Yeah.
But nah, so like San Jose in that area, I mean, was it really active, really violent, or was it, like did you have to be on guard 24/7 during the '90s?
Yeah. Well, like I was getting into, man, I was like, and this shit was like normal, man. It was like I was in like kindergarten, and we were already like breaking into houses and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes just for fun, sometimes to come up. You know what I mean? There would always be ghetto birds. I remember like entire summers, entire winters where ghetto birds were waking me up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like that movie Friday. Like people
Yeah.
laugh about the shit. And shit's funny, but we had real life Debos in the hood. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't be no sucker, you couldn't be no square, and you know what I mean. You had to stand up for yours. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was cutthroats everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I kind of came up, and that's how a lot of us came up in that area. So a lot of it was normally like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even get out of my hood or my area to like in my mid 20s and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was very, very isolated.
I feel you.
So it's definitely like a culture. It was a culture shock. Moving out of the hood at some point and seeing how other people react. You know, yeah.
So you told me you grew up in a mixed neighborhood. So how was the uh the association with Rasa and blacks and Samoans? Did everybody get along, or was there a division there?
Nah, we all got along. Because like my neighborhood was different. So we were a mixed bag. We have Vietnamese.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
talking about two blocks. Like,
yeah,
we all played cops and robbers together, and then as we got older, we advanced to real cops and robbers.
yeah, yeah.
But Vietnamese, Usos, Nicaraguenses, Chicanos, all of that. But at the same time, we grew up right there in the neighborhood on the east side. King and Story was a walking distance. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I got my groceries on King and Story. I washed my clothes on King and Story. I got my Dickies on King and Story. So even though it was what it was in my specific neighborhood, everybody was influenced by the Chicanada. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, sure. Especially
And
in
that's
San
how
Jose.
the brothers in my neighborhood, kind of like dressed like they were basically black cholos. Same thing
Yeah,
with the Samoans. There's
yeah, yeah,
Samoan cholos. You know what I'm saying?
The Asians too, huh? Because I remember in Oakland,
Yeah,
I like Asian cholos, basically.
yeah, we had a lot of Asian cholos.
We had them out here too. I remember them fools used to be all khaki down and stuff back in the days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so did you ever get into like a car club or into the lowrider culture yourself personally?
Yeah. I mean, you know,
I mean,
like I
San
said, I grew up
Jose,
in
the
Story and
lowrider
King,
capital.
so I mean, the low riding was always around me. The culture of cruising was always around me. That was a pastime. Like you didn't even when I was growing up, you didn't really even need to be honest with you. Like you didn't even need a lowrider. Like I mean, the young ass knuckleheads. If you had any little hoopty, you know, you
Yeah,
was out there cruising. Because that was back in the day. That was like the internet, right? That was the Facebook and fucking
for
Instagram.
sure, for sure.
You
Yeah,
know,
you
you
had
cruise. You
bro.
know, and you try to mac on hyenas and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that was part of growing up, man.
That's
So
kind of like me. I never had a lowrider per se, but I had a lot of those to cruise around and pick up hyenas and you know skunk on fools and you know how it goes, bro.
yeah, right, right,
Sure. And you know, we were talking about earlier the lowrider culture has always been very prominent in San Jose, and
right.
let's just go into a little bit of history of that. I'm
Hmm.
sure you're familiar with it. I tell people all the time that Lowrider magazine started in San Jose. Can you elaborate on that a little bit if you know that history?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know what's interesting? See, like it's always deeper and thicker than what it is. You know, Sonny Madrid was the founder of Lowrider, but he he's seen it as something political. You know, is to engage the raza. You know, to make them feel proud, to stand up. You know, and so he's seen low riding as a tool to empower the raza. Like before he had started Lowrider magazine, he was organizing with the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? They were doing Cop Watch. You know, he was part of an organization called Confederation de la Raza, which was a coalition of Chicano organizations in San Juan that used to come together. And you know, we had like a Raza Park. You know, they even Sonny Madrid and a couple other folks they went ahead and organized and bought out land. You know, build up housing so that Raza could be homeowners. You know, and the land is still there, but unfortunately they lost it. It's
Yeah,
the very historic. The barrio is called Barrio Tierra Nuestra. That hood is still around.
it's called Barrio Vida Nuestra.
Tierra Nuestra.
Tierra Nuestra. I never heard of that, bro. You see,
Yeah,
you're lacing me up, gaming me up on stuff I didn't even know.
but they end up losing the land. So once they lost the land, new owners renamed it to Las Casitas, uh, and that's across the street from Independence High School. So it's kind of funny or interesting. Maybe funny is not the right word, but interesting that there's like two barrios in one barrio. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
old school heads and then the new school.
yeah.
But
Also,
yeah, man, Sonny Madrid had to do something with that. The murals are still there to tell the story. So
also, there was also another group from San Jose. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They were called the Black Berets. You ever heard of them?
Black Berets, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know much about them, but I have heard about them a little bit.
yeah. I mean, the Black Berets, honestly, not too much is known about them or documented about them. But they are the first. A lot of people credit the Black Panthers, but
Yeah,
the Black Berets had already existed 10 years before that, and the
yeah.
reason why they chose black was because of their inspiration of Che Guevara during the 50s.
Oh, okay.
So during the 50s, the Cuban Revolution, Che Guevara wore a black beret. There were Chicanos. A lot of them were Yaqui Native Americans, and other nations. They're like mixed. They're like Chicano natives, eh?
Oh,
You
okay.
know, they're mixed up. And but yeah, they started no different from Black Panthers. They started that back in 58, 59, right there in San Jose. Yeah,
It,
on the east
it's
side,
just
right there in
sad.
Cesar Chavez's neighborhood.
It's just sad that that story is not known. That's a big part
Yeah,
of like Chicano history, especially when it comes to Northern California and the Bay Area.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's just a shame that nobody knows their story.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to go forward to that I've told people about on here is that Cesar Chavez grew up in the east side of San Jose. He
Right.
grew up in Sal Si Puedes. You know much
Yeah.
about that history?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you like this. It's sad that there's not because his birthday's coming up in a couple of days, and still not a federally recognized holiday. Some places they take the day off. Some other places they just don't recognize it at all. There's definitely not enough curriculum, that's or standardized curriculum about Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. See, there's just not enough out there, and it's a damn shame. I didn't know he was from San Juan or from the east side until like I was like locked up one day, and it made the front page of the Mercury News. And the only reason why I was reading it because I was locked up. When you're locked up, all of a sudden you're reading all the newspapers and shit.
Yeah.
And it fucking like really like fucking tripped me out. I was like, man, you mean to tell me that he just grew up like a few blocks away from me and no one ever told me? Like, that could have saved me. I could have never been in this fucking place. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what?
Inspiring,
You know what mind fucked me was when I found out that his actual early organizing training was in Fruitvale in my neighborhood.
Mm.
So what happened was he joined a group called the Community Service Organization.
Right.
And he would come from San Jose to Oakland and do training in the barrios in Oakland.
Wow.
That was his earliest training, and people don't talk about that, nor is it known. I actually made a video about that. Now, that tripped me the fuck out because I was like, whoa, Cesar Chavez was hanging out at St. Elizabeth's Church. That's fucking literally down the street from where I grew up.
Wow.
Wow. And even my mom told me she remembers Cesar Chavez in Oakland in the 70s when she was a youngster in Oakland. So it's a trip that he's from San Jose and he worked in Oakland. That's not even known.
Right.
And he had hella allies in San Jose and in Oakland, bro. So it's crazy, even the Black Panthers. So none of this is known, bro. None of this.
None of this, man. It's just unfortunate. It's overshadowed. You know what I mean? It's neglected, man. We've been robbed, homie. You know what I mean? That's why it's really up to people like me and you, man, to, we may not have the budget or some of the resources that we should, but at least we're using our, storytelling and oral history and doing the little that we can through whatever access that we have, man, to let that shit be known.
So I want to get back to a little bit about your life. All right, you don't have to tell me too much, but did you eventually get caught up in the game per se and went to jail and was getting caught up? You don't have to give me no info, just
yeah.
Did you get caught up in that lifestyle?
I mean, I was already caught up in the lifestyle when I was in kindergarten. Man, it was just a lot of knuckleheads in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And you start off playing cops and robbers, and you end up advancing to real cops and robbers. You start off into comic books and fucking playing Sega Genesis, and next thing you know, that's not cool no more. You're using drugs and drinking alcohol, 40s, doing a bunch of dumbass shit for Feria, and it just it's a downward spiral. You know what I'm saying?
Like the old song says, "Cowboys to girls."
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I mean, thankfully I never did time in the pen. I just done county time.
So you were in Elmwood?
Yeah, I was Elmwood. I was in Elmwood. But what was interesting, I think, what changed my life around was I had an ex that her father-in-law was a former political prisoner for the Black Liberation Army. Okay. He had did like 10 years in the pen, for doing shit with the Black Liberation Army. And so he would always have these interesting kind of like characters at his house. You know what I mean? And like I got to, I can't remember her name at the moment, but I got to meet her in person. She was a Japanese lady that was the first to gravitate towards or try to help Malcolm X when he was assassinated. So she would be at the pad. Other former Black Panthers.
Was that Yamaguchi, right? Wasn't that her name?
Yeah, that Yamaguchi. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. And different shit like that. And they would ask me to go to these meetings and go organize and stuff like that. And I was interested in it because I was always interested in shit like that. But I never went all the way until it was HR 4437. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember hearing about it.
HR 4437 was an immigrants' rights law that they were trying to get passed.
Oh, in 2006, right?
Yeah. It was
of course.
May 1st, 2006.
That was tight that day. I remember that day.
Yeah, it was real powerful, and I helped organize for that event, and I had one foot in the streets and one foot in organizing, and I was on probation, and basically I ended up getting arrested for organizing. So there was about 6 of us. I ended up getting arrested, and because I was on probation, I had to spend a summer or 2 or whatever in county, and while I was there, basically the homies were just like, hey, like, this is what you in here for. You need a better our raza. You need to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? And so I got my GED. I got into a little program, a drug and alcohol recovery program. And from that moment forward, you know what I'm saying, I just committed myself to bettering our people. You know what I'm saying? I'm sober for over 15 years now. I dedicated a lot of my life towards organizing. I don't just do music. I do all kinds of different organizing. So my last experience at HR 4437 and just being around, I think the right individuals, you know what I'm saying, really changed my life around, for sure. I people talk about La Causa and all of that. I believe in that shit. That shit helped me out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It wasn't just a slogan. It wasn't just something, a jail talk. It wasn't none of that. I took it serious, and that's what I dedicated myself to.
It's just something when you learn about your culture and you learn about your history, especially when you learn up about it in a local aspect of it, especially, you know what I mean? It does something. It changes you. It makes you see a bigger picture than just the streets, the barrio, the hood, or whatever you want to call it. And you want to help people. So I want to ask you a question. So the way I met you was through the Solettos Ball and through your old DJing. So what brought up the concept of the Solettos Ball, and what got you into collecting oldies and DJing oldie shows? Because you do shows in Oakland too, right?
Yeah. I mean, Oakland is all love,
Are you gonna be in Oakland this Friday?
What's cracking out there this Friday?
I think they're doing an oldie show this Friday, but I could be wrong.
Oh, is that right? Probably, man. Back to
what got you into it, and what inspired the Solettos Ball is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, I remember, I went that last little bit that I spent in county.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was in a program, and the teacher was going around asking everybody, what's your hobby? And it went to my homie Shorty. I didn't know him at the time. And he's all, I like to collect records. And then it went around to me, and because I looked around, I was like, this fool, who collects records? You know what I'm saying? And then it went to me, and I said, yeah, I like to collect records too. And we got to rapping, and he was actually the individual that really convinced me to make a change in my life. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got released, like I said, I was gonna just dedicate myself to bettering our people and all of that. I think there was a couple events I went to. I think it was the 30 years of JJ and Maya, which I think he has the longest running Chicano broadcast show in the country.
Okay.
Is low riding with JJ and Maya at a Dakota at the Ohlone College, right? Yeah, Ohlone College 89.3 KOHL. Yeah, and I thought that show was badass because I never went to a show like that. Like everybody was dressed up, all pachucoed out. I was like, that's just bad, eh? You know what I mean? And then I had went to another show in Sanjo, and not knowing too much. Like I heard the stories, but when you're out there and you're fucking partying, like everybody's full of stories, homie.
Yeah.
What can you fucking believe? You know what I mean? Everybody could talk a good one, and but it was called, I think, Mi Coche Mi Cultura. It was at the Mexican Heritage Plaza. And again, I never, I was fucking around out, fucking off in them streets. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to these kind of events, I was like, man, I didn't even know they had shit like this. And I went to this show, and it was an exhibit. You know what I mean? And it was like I seen the Lowrider Ball, which that was inspired the name Solettos Ball. And I got to know all the people that were there, and like they were telling about Lowrider started here in Sanjo, and the homies that the dude was based out of Richmond, and he got his break working for Lowrider and went to San Jose State, and all these different things. And I was like, man, that shit is fucking powerful. You know what I mean? I didn't know none of this shit. So they don't. It's not like they teach it in schools or have a documentary about it. And so I got really inspired by, I think, those two events. And during that time, like, it wasn't like now where record collecting has gotten very, very popular. Rare soul record collecting has gotten real popular. Back then, like, you had to be a madman, like, if you was collecting rare oldies on records.
Yeah.
And so, like, and I think it was right in the mix of the hyphy movement, so even more, like, motherfuckers wasn't trying to hear no oldies.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to hear the oldies, they wanted all the common oldies. They didn't want the rare oldies, or they didn't even fucking know what that was. Yeah. And so I think just out of an act of carnalismo, some homies, needed some love. And so I gave them that love, and we went ahead and had the first Solettos Ball, and it kind of took on like a wildfire.
What year was that?
Fuck, man, 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, 2009. So it was basically the first event of its kind. It was no one had really did an event like that where you spin rare oldies from the records. And it was more so about sharing your collection versus DJing and entertaining a party, So it was a totally new concept, and it just inspired a lot of fucking people. It took off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember around that time there was a big, like, kind of push to bring, like, some of the old Chicano lowrider culture back in the Bay Area. Like, I remember they used to do the cruises at First Fridays. Remember that in Oakland?
Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, that was popping. That was cracking.
They used to do that, and then remember Chamuco used to do his events in over there off of East 14th.
Yeah.
What was it called? Amor Eterno.
Amor Eterno. Yeah.
Yeah, those were dope. All those
they were badass.
And then you were doing Solettos Ball, and then the Pachuco event in Davis. So there was kind of like a resurgence of that.
There was a resurgence,
which was dope. You know what I mean? Because you're right. It was the height of the hyphy movement, and a lot of people, especially the young generation of Raza in the Bay were starting to forget the roots
Big
of
time.
their uncles and their dads and their primos or whatever
Yeah.
brothers sisters came from. I never forgot that, you know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
was nice at the time to see it, and it made me respect it in many
Hmm.
ways. Even though I never was technically a cholo myself, I did grow up around it, but I always had love for those styles and for the lowriders and for the OG shit that I grew up seeing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah, so the Solettos Ball. Did I ever go to one, bro? I can't remember if I ever got a chance to really go to one, bro.
I don't know.
Because
Possibly.
I think when you started doing them, I think that's when I started getting into music, and it took up a lot of my time, and it was harder for me to go to events.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
know for sure we were rapping, so
I know I went to a couple events you threw or events you were at, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't remember if I ever went to
Art
the.
shows, I think.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yeah. That were either in Frisco or Oakland and shit. You know what I mean? For sure.
So so
But going back to that, see,
mhm,
that's what it was. It's like, you know, during that, like a lot of people take shit for granted now, I think, because it wasn't easy to do shit like that. First of all, nobody wants cholos in the club.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Especially in San Juan during that time. They didn't want no Chicanos going in those clubs and in those
yeah,
bars. They did not allow us in downtown. You know what I mean? They weren't fucking with us downtown. You know, if you wanted to kick it, you feel me? You kicked it outside of the clubs. You didn't really go inside. You know what I mean? Because they wouldn't let you in and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even wear a button-up shirt, dress proper, and all of that. They still wouldn't let some motherfuckers in. And it was during the time of hyphy. Everything was super duper hyphy. And San Jose was a whole culture shock because we never had that. We don't have hyphy or it's not like Oakland where that shit's cracking. Like
yeah.
that it came out of nowhere. Around that time, and I
And
noticed a lot of the youngsters or the younger generation. It's like they were almost ashamed of being. I'm just gonna call it. They were ashamed of being Chicano, man. They wanted to be everything else in the book except for themselves.
Yeah,
And so with all that said, it was kind of like a line in the sand that we were creating. You
yeah,
know, we're Chicano. We listen to oldies. We dress old school. This is us. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And fuck what everybody thinks. And I think that's why it was embraced so much because during that time, like it felt like I think all was lost.
yeah,
And then here goes the Solettos Ball, and we're saying, "Now fuck that. If you ain't dressed feed me, you ain't coming in the door."
yeah,
Instead of no Chicano allowed, like
yeah,
usually how they do it.
yeah.
You
But
know?
even the hyphy movement itself, like I was too old for it, bro. I was already older when it came out. I mean, obviously, sideshows and stuff like that had existed in Oakland way before there ever was a hyphy movement. See, in my days, they used to call it the mob music movement or mob music, but they didn't call it hyphy. Hyphy, I think hyphy was a term that was used originally to mean like hyper or hyped up, and then they started saying hyphy. That's
Mm,
that. I heard the term first before I even knew there was some kind of movement.
mm,
What I remember was that the hyphy movement originally started. It was called the New Bay movement, and a lot of people don't remember that, but it was
mm.
originally called the New Bay movement. And
Interesting.
then all of a sudden, it was called hyphy movement. I started hearing everyone talking about hyphy and Diz and that
Hmm.
whole movement. You know what I mean? But that was I was too old for that already, bro. I was already in my late 20s when that happened. So, those were what the youngsters were doing, boy. I remember, I grew up on Seagram, Too Short, MC Hammer, the old school Blue Man,
Yeah, all of us
Strike
did.
One.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I grew up on. I
yeah,
didn't Everything that came after that, bro, was kind of more new to me, but it was what it was. I'm not hating on it. I probably didn't like it at the time. I respect it now, but it was just a different culture, a different time. You feel me?
yeah,
I
yeah, for
would
sure,
say, I would
definitely.
say my only thing with the hyphy movement that I don't like personally is that people from the hyphy era, or even some Bay Area rap historians, they act like like Bay Area rap started at the hyphy movement, and that's complete gore shit.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
I literally heard people say that before the hyphy movement, there was no rap in the Bay Area. I heard youngsters say that before. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, they tripping, man.
Yeah, they're smoking. They're probably smoking angel dust.
They don't know nothing about hurricane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, the Solettos Ball era, that was dope. That era was fun, bro. I went to a lot of events that they had back then, and like I said, I probably did go to a Solettos Ball for sure. But I know I went to some of your shows for sure, where you were DJing or you were there. I remember that. Sure.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times I'm just, you know, I'm the background guy and shit. I'm the one running around. You know, I try not to. I try to always like break bread and show love and give opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give people quebradas, and you know, I never really made any of these things, did anything. It's never about me. You know what I mean? It's like just about the movement. You know, and I think for someone like myself, you know, that all of this, because I just seen like the whole Soletto thing, you know, Rare Soul Records and all of that. It was just an extension of the lowrider culture or extension of the Chicano movement in my eyes. And so, you know, I just seen it as a larger movement, you know what I mean? And, you know, whenever, you know, you believe in a movement and if it actually has empowered you in some way, you know, like for me, it kept me out of trouble, you know, because it's like it gave me something to put my energy and time in versus putting my energy and time in on some bullshit, you know? And so, you know, I loved it, man. You know what I mean? Like Surge, you know, I love that dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I was able to get him into Teen Angels. You know, I think more than one, possibly more than one issue, but for sure in one issue. I think it was the last issue. You know, Surge got up in there. I got other folks in that magazine, and you know, got a lot of people that were spinning, and even before, like right now, it's cracking. Like you know, the Duran Joneses and the Trish Toledos and all those individuals. But when a lot of these bands that were kind of just like, you know, like just experimenting, or you know, they were trying to do this kind of shit. It's like, you know, we were just, and I say we because it was you know, Solettos Ball was a club, you know, and you know, we were just kind of like we love the cultura so much that, you know, there was a lot of sacrifices that were done for sure, and it was all in the sake of the movement, man. You know.
Well, because I'm from Oakland, bro, from my hometown, the town, East Oakland, Oaktown.
Yeah.
You said that Oakland showed you a lot of love in a lot of your events.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah. Off top, you know, it's so gotcha because, you know, here we are, we're talking about sound, you know, and all the history and culture and all of that. But there's a lot of racism, you know, even to this day. There's a lot of racism. They don't give us enough opportunities.
Hey, bro, your microphone sounds off a little bit. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't know. If
okay.
I don't know if it's on my end or.
I don't know. Can someone verify? Is it me or what is it?
Hey, can someone in the comments let me know if Raza del Soul's microphone, because I it sounds blurry to me. I don't know why.
Is my microphone good?
Let me know in the comments if it sounds good.
Hello.
Nobody, everyone's asleep.
Mic check, 1, 2.
It just sounds a little blurry on my end. I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah.
All right, everyone said they can. Someone said they can hear. Go ahead, bro. My bad, bro.
Yeah. Might be a latency issue or something. But yeah,
someone said it sounds a little bit different. Said it sounds like you're in a hallway.
In a hallway.
Yeah, it sounds a little blurry, a little bit.
Yeah, what do you think I should do? What do I do?
Just keep talking. I'll try to the best I could hear.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were saying there was a lot of racism. That's
A
where you
lot of
got
racism, and even to this day, there's just not enough opportunities, and they don't really let us in the door in a lot of these places in Sano for live music and cultural events. You know, and but you go to some place like Oakland, it's always love. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? A lot of club owners, they 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 welcome you in, they pay you good. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. And in Sano, it's really hard to get shit cracking. You know what I mean? Um, that's why when we were doing Solettos Ball, it was mostly in restaurants. It was never at an actual club. You know, where versus when we got to Oakland, we were able to get into the galleries. We were able to get in the nightclubs and shit like that. You know, uh, definitely like I don't know what the right word would say, but you know, there's a lot of love there. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I remember you guys getting a lot of you get a lot of shows with Bobby, huh? Bobby, that's my boy. Bobby
Yeah,
Berets.
yeah, with Bobby. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I did a
think
lot.
they
I did
closed
a
down
lot
the
of work
club
with
or some
him.
shit. But yeah, he gave a lot of love for sure. Uh,
You probably did shows at the Legionnaire then.
yeah, Legionnaire,
I
and then a
did
lot of
hella shows at the
shit over
Legionnaire,
there
bro.
at Mortadelo for a while. You
Okay,
know?
yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah,
seen you there many times at Amor Eterno.
yeah, Mortadelo. I love that place. Shout out to Chamuks.
Chamuco, yeah, that place was
Yeah,
was tight. Yeah, that's the homie from the Doves right there. Yeah, the Legionnaire, I played there hella times myself, bro. It was always fun there,
yeah.
bro.
I like that little hole in the wall. It's cool, huh?
Yeah, it was fun, bro. It's
Fuck
right there.
yeah.
Those who don't know, that's a spot on Telegraph. But
Yeah.
so I'm gonna leave it at this before we end this. Talk to me a little bit about your organizing against gentrification in San Jose. And you know, a lot of us know that there's been a lot of gentrification in San Jose. There's been erasures of murals and stuff like that, and people are being priced out of San Jose because of the tech giants and all that, and the tech boom. So, you know, the raza has been pushed away drastically from San Jose into the Central Valley, into other areas of Califas or even the country. And just elaborate a little bit on that work that you did.
Yeah. I feel like the city, they went ahead and hustled the raza as the exploited working class, and they already got everything they wanted out of us. And they're just trying to do what they do to get rid of us. I think that it all probably you want to go back. It started in the '90s. You know what I mean? The three strikes law, gang enhancement law, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that 2002 was when there started to be real big changes. Um, of course, the internet is blowing up then, but 2002 was the first time they did. The city was trying to retake land that was right there on King and Story from the property owner. The property owner kept on fighting it. He was successful in keeping some of the property, which is the only real corner where there's still a lot of mom and pops, raza or Latino owned businesses.
Uh,
And now you got the Target and shit across the
yeah,
street. They took away one of the murals right there on that corner. Actually, two of them, and that's when the changes really started. Slowly but surely, I started noticing a lot of murals in San Juan just disappearing, and it's always been due to redevelopment and new property owners that they don't really care for us. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I think that the last draw for a lot of us was when they took down Mural de la Raza, which was on Story Road, not too far. It was basically that the Payless is right between King and Story, Brookaway, and Capitol Park. And Palma is technically too. It meant a lot to a lot of people. Not being in the location that it was. Very, very historic. It was the only mural with Malcolm X on it in Sano. You see figures like Mao,
yeah,
on it, And then you also seen local figures, Jim Plunkett from the Raiders,
Oh yeah,
which was from San Juan. What do you call it? Luis Valdez was up on there,
oh
which is
yeah.
the creator of La Bamba.
He grew up
Uh,
in San Jose too, huh?
was that?
He grew up in San Jose too.
Yeah, he grew up in San Juan. What do you call it? Of course, there was Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. And then they had like the mythic story of how Tenochtitlan was founded on that mural. Very, very historic issues that were addressing barrio warfare. You know, the Olmec head, the great Olmec head, all kinds of things you could name it was on that wall. And I think it meant a lot of people, hurt a lot of people. Definitely hurted me, when it was removed. And so for sure, like San Juan has definitely been changing, and it kind of inspires me more to continue to preserve our culture.
Yeah,
Um,
for
and
sure.
I think it's important to actually state that, because see, I don't use the word gang, you know, I use the word vario. I think gang is something that law enforcement created, that term and that ideology. We come from barrios, and we should be proud of that. This is our culture, just as much as the indigenous culture is our culture. This is also our culture. The lowrider culture, the barrio culture. I'm not talking about the criminal elements and stuff like that. I view the criminal elements as you know as the raza being basically victims of this fucked up system.
Yeah,
Being victims of the war on drugs. We're for sure on the bottom of the totem pole. I mean, it's pretty interesting. There was some data that was done, and in the Southwest, or actually in the entire country, there's more people getting killed by cops in California and in Texas than any other state in the country. And in the Southwest, including California and Texas, raza is being killed more than any other non-white ethnic group by the police. We're flooding the prisons. You know what I'm saying? Flooding the ICE detention centers. We're definitely an oppressed people. I'm pretty sure that, I could confidently say that we're the largest exploited working class in the country.
yeah,
And you know, we don't really have much, so we got to do what we got. And if that is in things like the Solettos Ball, collecting rare oldies, or preserving our murals, preserving our local history, whether it's in San Juan or Oakland or what have you.
yeah.
We got to do what we got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, all is lost.
How
You
was the relationship with the police, with the San Jose State Police and the Raza community out there?
Yeah, I mean, everybody. If you go back, everybody loves Cinco de Mayo out here.
Yeah, of course.
Going out here Cinco de
Yeah.
Mayo. It was fun. It was fun.
If you're from the Bay Area, you went to Cinco de Mayo at least once in San Jose for
Oh
sure.
yeah. For us, it was like the Chicano Mardi Gras.
It really was, bro.
Yeah, it
Hey,
really
bro, I
was.
remember my homie from Kansas City. He had never seen a real, because he was Raza, but he never seen a real Cinco de Mayo. I said, bro, I'm gonna take you to San Jose. He was like, what the fuck is this? He's like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah. But the cops were dicks. You know what I'm saying? Like they would bring out the horses. They would be bringing out their info red beams. I seen the craziest shit. They would just fuck with us all day.
Yeah,
And when you grow up in the hood, you know what I mean. Like cops are always fucking with you. You know what I mean. On your way to school, coming
yeah,
home from school, walking to the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, the cop just stopped me like on the way. I got to get stopped again. Oh, sorry, we got to do this. Who do you kick it with? Where'd you do time at? A lot of harassment. I know myself. I've been victim of police brutality a good handful of times. You know what I mean? Yeah, these cops are dirty out here. You know what I mean? For sure.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I want one last thing I wanted to leave before I was going to ask you before I ask you the last question. Would you like to stick on and have an open panel, or you're just done after this?
Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna let
yeah,
you.
it's
I'm gonna
all
let
good.
you decide it.
Yeah, yeah, it's all good. As long as it's, you know what I'm saying, ain't no funny business going on.
Yeah,
It's all good.
if trolls are coming on, they could kiss my ass. But
Yeah, yeah.
one last thing I was going to tell you. So you mentioned that you had worked on Teen Angel magazine, and a lot of people don't know that Teen Angel those who don't know what Teen Angel magazine is, it was a magazine that
Hmm.
showed Chicanos, cholos, barrios, hoods in California or in the Southwest. You know, very popular in the 70s, 80s, and
Yeah,
90s. And a lot of people don't know that that book originated in Milpitas, San Jose area.
yeah,
There was also another one from San Francisco called Me Vida Loca magazine. I don't know
yeah.
if that one, but we're going to talk about Teen Angel because we're specifically talking about San Jose. So you do know the history of how Teen Angel started. How did you get into working with it? Because I do remember when they released a few issues some years back.
Yeah, it was the magazine was already debunked for some time. And
Who started it, by the way, if you know?
what do you call it? Teen Angel. He went by
Okay,
the name Teen Angel. I forget his real name. It might be David Holland.
was he
He
from
was
San
actually a
Jose?
white. He was actually a white boy. People don't know that.
Wow, was he from San Jose?
Nah, he was from down. He was from down south. He was from my understanding, he was from Rialto, and he moved because people have to understand is like Sanhong was like the Woodstock of lowriding.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
people would come from all over. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's no different from why today a lot of people in the entertainment business go to places like New York or LA.
yeah.
For Sanho, it was like there was a really big hotbed and magnet. And Teen Angel was one of those guys that he came here for an opportunity, and he ended up getting hired working for Lowrider magazine. He did the first Lowrider Arte magazines that came out, and then he then kind of not necessarily broke off, but started his own venture, which was Teen Angel. And he lived right there in the hood. He lived right there in Barrio Sunny Hills.
Oh, that's
I actually met people that he used to babysit and stuff
yeah.
like that. You know,
Sunny Hills is Milpitas, right?
yeah, Milpitas. Yeah, Sunny Hills is out there in Milpitas. So yeah, he stayed out there. You know what I mean? Um, and uh, uh, and it was the magazine's cool because it was more about it was like a lowrider magazine that was less about the lowriders and more about the people.
Yeah,
So in this case, it was about the homies and shit like that. And
yeah,
he at that time, I think he allowed everybody. He didn't really, uh, he didn't like pick sides, north and south. Everybody was in there, but there
yeah.
was a heavy
I
Northern
remember.
Cali presence in those magazines
Yeah, I
early
remember
on.
the earlier magazines. You would see Oakland, you would see San Jose, you would see Frisco,
Mhm.
you would see Richmond,
Fremont,
Sacramento,
Dakota,
yeah,
everybody,
Dakota, all the hoods. Yeah,
all the hoods.
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. I used to
Uh,
have some issues that used to have like Oakland art from Oakland and Berkeley and Hayward. I was like, wow, that's dope. That's dope.
yeah. And I think like in the 90s, the business got passed down to his kids, and his kids being from down south, it ended up like they ended up dominating the content. So it ended up being nothing but people from the south.
Oh, okay.
And if you notice, everything kind of did. Lowrider did, right?
Yeah,
Homies did. Everything kind of was catered towards LA, the whole gangster rap era,
yeah.
Hollywood, Mi Vida Loca, all of that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
homies started out here too in Richmond.
yeah, right, right. And so it was pretty cool. I think I ended up hooking up with I don't know how or why or if it was me or him, but I ended up hooking up with Rich. Uh, um, and Rich is he was going to community college, I believe, with one of Teen Angel's sons
Okay.
down south, and Rich already doing a graphic design. I believe he's the one that did the logo for Suavecito, the the pomade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably one of his most like popular icons and stuff like that. But he got the idea to revamp the magazine, to bring it back, and somehow I think I got in contact with him or something like that, and eventually I started contributing. So writing articles and stuff like that, and yeah, got some artists and stuff like that from out this way, for sure. Chamuks got some love in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
from Amor Eterno, Surge, my homegirl Angie Spooky out of Redwood City. Yeah, got a lot of hint in that magazine for sure.
What happened? Did it continue, or did it just happen for those few episodes and that was it?
And then it'll be some like controversy or something like that. Somebody else with a big budget. You know what I mean? I think they trademarked the magazine and were claiming that Teen Angel himself gave him the authority and to handle the business of the magazine, and then it was shut down. So
Damn, that sucks.
yeah, it sucks, and I haven't seen nothing come up.
Yeah.
I haven't really. I think the magazine got debunked again.
Yeah.
But Rich was cool, man. He was from down south, and he wasn't set tripping or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And he never said no. You can't have that in the magazine. No, you can't have that person or that image in the magazine. It was all love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was a cool little opportunity. Definitely very thankful to him.
Yeah. All right, man. So that concludes our interview. That was dope. Thanks for coming on, bro. And thank you for giving the time to come on here and tell a little bit about your story. I've been wanting to do this with you for a long time now.
Yeah, gracias.
Yeah, so I'm glad you came on. So let's get some people to join the panel, see if they want to
Let's
come
do it.
on. I'm gonna leave a link right there to the StreamYard if you want to come on. No funny shit, no trolling, none of that stuff. Any pendejos or anybody acting weird will be blocked. Let's see, somebody wants to join. What's up, brother? You got a question? Hello? Oh, hell
Oh
no.
man, come on, man.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow. See, that's what I'm saying. The haters.
Yeah.
No life, bro.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
See, people love the negativity. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here for talking about some positivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over
It's
here.
been a while since I got a hater on here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Well,
wasn't.
when you're doing things right, Mr. Oakland Latinos United, hey, you're
How
doing
do you
something right.
join here? Serge. See that link? I'm about to post it. Just go in it, bro. I just posted it right now. You could be able to just go in and I'll let you come in. But yeah, man, fucking Hoto, somebody said. For a while they were doing that shit a lot, bro. It had stopped for a minute, bro.
Man.
Weirdos, bro. I should have banned them from the get go.
And who has time to do that? All of a sudden they create a profile and a profile pic, and come on, man.
No life, bro.
Fuck, eh?
Yeah.
What's up, Serge? You hopping on or what?
Hop on, fool.
I heard you're next up at back. Don't be telling me you missing them. You getting strikes, man. Come on.
Yeah, I left that full link. Hey, just go in that link, bro.
Just
Serge.
hit the link.
Real players always got haters. I feel it, man.
That's right.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, a lot of those events from back in the days, they were fun though, bro. We should start bringing them back, fool. Seriously.
Yeah, everyone tells me, but it takes a lot of work. You know, you have to have the right people. You have to have the right people dedicated, and I think that's what made it so cracking. Because I never did anything alone. Like it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people, mostly women as well. That were really organizing and pushing things and making shit happen. So it's like I think we just had the right people, right time. And that shit was cracking.
Yeah, for sure. We are gonna me and against all odds. We were talking about possibly working with Juan. You know Juan Espinosa. working with his family and doing an event at San Antonio Park again for him. So if you'd be interested in being part of that, bro, let us know. What's
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
bro? There's
What's
Big
up,
Surge.
boys? How you guys
Hey,
doing,
Big
man?
Gilmos.
Fool,
Hey, that was a good
look
one,
at the shirt
man.
I'm
I
wearing,
loved
fool.
it, bro. All the info, man. There was shit on there I didn't even know. Hold on, let
Yeah.
me put on my glasses on, boy, because I gotta see what I'm reading here. You know what I mean?
That's the OG homie from Oakland.
There
What's
we
up,
go.
sir?
What's up, homeboy? How you doing, man? Much love and respect, man.
Hey,
First of all,
likewise,
man,
pass
I
it
want to
right
give
back.
a big thanks to you, my brother, because if it wasn't for me winning that T-shirt hit up contest that day, bro,
Oh,
you
yeah.
opened up
Yeah.
you opened up a lot of doors for me, bro. Believe it or not, homie. Like,
Yeah.
I've always dreamt about being in a fucking art show since I was a little kid.
Mm.
And that shit opened up some fucking doors for me, bro. And that was some good shit. So, man, I just wanted to let you know that, even though I've told you that before, but not live on here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So,
appreciate it, man.
it's
I
all love,
appreciate
my
that,
boy.
you know?
It's
Yeah.
all love,
Yeah,
man. That
appreciate
was
you.
good.
You know, that's what it was all about. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I did the shit for. You know what I'm saying? For individuals like yourself. You know what I mean?
No,
You know?
and I noticed that, bro. I was like, man, this, cause like you were saying that it wasn't about you, that you was doing it for the anthem, for the raza and shit. And we just need more, you know, we need more people like you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of individualists out there, bro. That's all me. And
Yeah.
it's like, man, so you know what I mean? Good shit. Right on, Jose, too, bro. Doing
Yeah,
your
for
thing,
sure.
bro. Hey, sometimes people ask me about shit, about history on the town. And if I don't know them, I send them to you. I'll be
Hell, to
like,
me.
hey, hit up fucking, you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys even ever watched the Homie Hangout. It's
I
that
know who he
YouTube.
is. I know who he is. Yeah,
Josh,
yeah.
yeah. So he had asked me, he hit me up and asked about some like history on the hood and stuff, and when did the hood? And I had to tell him about Los Hermanos del Barrio, and you know, I ran a little bit quick history, and he threw he threw it out there and told him what I had told him, and I thought that was pretty cool. But I was like, man, I don't know it all, but what I do know, I'm gonna let you, you know what I mean? I'll give it to you, you know what I mean, so you could share it with the people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I've heard of Los Hermanos del Barrio. That was like back in the days.
that was that's when it all, Los Hermanos del Barrio was more like a social club, bro. It was
Yeah.
like a social, it wasn't a gang, it was just all Los Hermanos del Barrio, all the homies were together. And then eventually they ended up, like the 60s and 38, they ended up breaking up and making their own. That's when 38 and 41st and all the motherhoods in our area became, that was like 78,
Yeah.
And this is like the first generation, my generation. Like the homies, like Mio and all them, they're like the founders of 38, pretty much. I came in towards the last ending of the first generation.
I
So,
remember
because
the
I had
other
grew up
fools. They
in
were
the
called.
town, and then I moved out, and then I came back, and I relinked with some of the homies that I knew already, and then I met the big homie, Speedy Joseph, rest in peace, Serrano, in Old Santa Rita, and he was like, hey, he took a good liking to me, right? He was like, hey, homie, you know what I mean? Fuck, all my homeboys. He's like, man, you gotta come fuck with us when you get out. And I was like, all right, it's all good, homie. I come through all the time. And he goes, well, I ain't never seen you. I said, bro, you're always locked up. That's why, you know what I mean? But, I fucking, he introduced me to a lot of the other homies that I didn't know. So therefore, like, you know how when you get jumped into the hood, you got fight it, you get jumped in for whatever seconds. I had to fight the homies that didn't know me. They wanted to see my ball, if I had Cora, you know what I mean? They wanted to
Yeah.
test me. And I
Yeah.
had to, I ended up fighting half of the hood already. So it was like, fuck it, hey, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But it's just it's a trip, bro. There's a lot of history, man.
And then you were in the
There's some
principal.
stuff that I didn't even know that you had spoke on, Jose, like shit about just how Cesar Chavez lived right there. I didn't know that, bro.
Well, he
That
didn't. He
was
didn't live in Oakland. He started his early like activism in Oakland. He was
no.
living in.
I'm talking about living in San Jose.
Okay. Yeah.
Talking about what Matt had shared about him living right down the block from you.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Mm.
Yeah, that was some good info. And then I've always known that the Berets were they had a. Did they start in Oakland or did they have
No, they
just
started
a
in East
little?
LA,
Yeah, they
but they
started over there, but they had
they had a
the
chapter in Oakland.
a chapter in Oakland, yeah, and San Jose, and yeah. So
But
I
Oakland
know
had
all that part.
its own thing. What was it
Yeah, the
called?
Yeah.
Chicano Revolutionary Party.
Yeah.
That was Juan Espinosa's group.
I
Wow,
think those fools are. I
and
think they were downer though, eh?
I got to meet
Those motherfuckers wasn't playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to meet Juan through the art show we did at over there at Moritano,
oh
the
yeah,
Barrio
You did the
Expressions.
flyer.
Yeah, when I did
that
the
was
Barrio Expressions,
Bobby
remember?
Expression. Yeah,
Yeah, body
Yeah,
expression.
that's the first time I met
Hey,
Juan.
R.I.P. to Juan Espinosa
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
man, he
Yeah,
was a
big
good dude.
R.I.P. You know.
Hey, bro, he used to buy when COVID first hit, and I had the Welga Bird mask. He used to buy him off me all the time, bro, and he would send me people, and it was cool. Like we became friends, and then
Yeah.
like what had happened, like he even shared with me what happened with his son and the whole
Oh
nine.
yeah, that was heavy, man.
That was fucked up, bro. And I was
That
like,
was heavy,
man,
man.
yeah.
Hey, Serge, I was telling homeboy, we might do me and my homie. Remember my native homie always be hanging around.
Yeah.
We might do a thing with Juan's family at San Antonio Park commemorating his life again, bro. So I'll let you
me
know, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, let me know. That'd be
this
that'd
time
be
we
dope.
want to have a big group of people to help us out, bro.
Right on, man. That would be No, he deserves that, bro. That dude a lot of shit. Hey, bro, I remember when he had Body Expressions, bro. I didn't even have cable. We were too poor to have cable, bro. You know what I mean? The motherfuckers. I went to my homeboys' houses that had cable. It's not that we were poor, but only the the motherfuckers that had cable. We were like, all right, we go to Earth just to watch it. Like,
that's kind of like Sobe. Kind of like Sobe. You didn't have to have cable to watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were too poor to have it. We just wasn't. My parents was like, you don't need that shit. You go watch it at your friend's house. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I was too busy running the streets anyway. So it is what it is.
Somebody in the comments said, was Carlos the leader of Hermanos del Barrio?
No, his family was the big Franks. They were the well known of the 60s, and Carlos, the Parkins, their family was the leaders of. I don't want to say leaders, but well known as the 60s. And there was no leader in Los Hermanos del Barrio. They were all together. There wasn't even no barrios back. Like, there was no six. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It was all just homies from different hoods. You know who would know a lot more than that? Because I think he actually was a member of that, is Mio.
Oh, okay.
Mio will give you a lot more. He knows a lot. He teaches me shit all the time, bro.
Yeah.
My brother would tell me about another clique called Barrio Oakland Locals. He would always tell me about them.
Oh, your brother
VOL.
DJ?
Yeah, he told me he remembers them from back in the days.
What was it called?
Barrio Oakland Locals, VOL.
Oh, VOL, yeah. So VOL was a little hood. They were there, but they were like the guys that lived MacArthur up that way in the Laurel district.
Yeah,
like the goody, the families with money, what I mean, over there, as opposed to where like even Burnout David, little Chino,
I know that fool.
They were all VOL before they came over here to our hood. They were like, I want to go with some real gangsters. Nah, I'm just playing. They just, they came over. They came over to us, but I mean, it is. We were cool with them.
Hey, bro,
that was cool.
Let me ask you a question to educate the people on here, because you were on The Principal, the movie. How did the homies get on that movie? How did the hookup come on that movie?
Cisco via Vera, I can't say his last name, but the ex.
Oh, the Hells Angels dude.
Hells Angels.
You were the Chicano, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the only at that time. He was the only Chicano HA, and so he was a co-producer of the movie, and he pulled up on 38 one day and was like, "Hey, we need some Chicano gang members," and we started. We tried to do some guys from Hollywood down south, but there was there was a communication problem because a lot of them didn't, they spoke mostly Spanish, and they couldn't communicate too well in English. So then, they didn't use them, and then they tried to use like some Hollywood cholos, some fucking what's that motherfucker from Walking Proud, Robbie Benson or whatever that fool was.
Oh, that fool, yeah.
Mario Lopez.
No. It's old school.
Los Aztecas, that one.
He was just, they tried to use him in the movie as a cholo. He was just a fake cholo. He wasn't even a real cholo. And they were like, no, this is
Jewish,
so
bro.
fake.
He's
So
not
he
even
was like,
Raza.
Cisco was like, I know where these real motherfuckers be out there every day, like 24/7. They're holding down the fort. They're out there. So he pulled up and he fucking was like, hey, here, you guys take a picture, throw up your gang signs, do what you do, and I'm gonna take a picture. And he said, I'm gonna show it to he was a co-producer, and he said, I'm gonna show it to the producer. And he came back the next day and he was like, oh man, my fucking producer loved it. You guys want to park? Be here at the Oakland Hyatt Regency at such and such time to fill out. You guys got to fill out some paperwork in order to be in the movie, right? I was like, oh, and then everybody was all right, cool. But that fucking day, I had because I was in and out fucking the system back then, I had to go to court. So I was like, get a warrant or be in the movie. I was like, fuck that. I ain't getting no warrant. So I went to court. My language again. I went to court, and then so I got out. When I came home, I was like, hey, is there any more spots left? They were all taken. And thank God a couple of the homeboys, I'm not gonna mention no names, got kicked off the set because they smoked one of them Pensacola Project joints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They smoked one of the goodies. And they got Leño. And they got kicked off the set, right? And fucking so Puppet, which my homeboy Puppet Damien, they made him the leader of the gang in the movie because the way he looked, because he had the paño and the brim and the shades. And he called me and Nate up. Rest in peace, Big Nate. He called us up and he goes, hey bro, we need 2 guys for you guys want to be in the movie? We're like, what kind of question is that? What do you mean we want to be in the movie? We've been trying to get in this motherfucker, but it was full. So that's how we got in, bro. But it was because of Cisco. Rest in peace, Cisco. But yeah, I got to talk to him a little bit before he passed away, but it was because of him. That's how we ended up getting in the movie.
My brother was supposed to be in the movie with Lil Juan, bro. And I think my brother might have been on one little scene, but he got hurt, bro. He got into a fight and was in the hospital during that time, bro. I don't know if you remember that.
No, Juan was in the movie, but I don't recall seeing your brother there.
He was supposed to be in it. I don't remember if he told me maybe he went one time.
Probably because he got lumped up in the fight, bro, and didn't want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, he did. I'm not gonna lie, he did. He had it pretty bad, bro.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you knew my uncle Rigo. He was a paisa. He was in the movie, bro. Rigo, yeah. He had like a fro. He was a paisa dude. He was in the movie, bro. He didn't kick it with the cholo. There was
a couple of the extras that weren't from 38, but they were from Oakland. But the only one I remember was this one dude named Bullet, and he used to paint cars.
Okay.
And other than that, everybody else was either 41st, was 38, or 41st, like Bam Bam, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And a couple other guys from the Psychos, but everybody else was straight 30. They even had an article. They did a thing. Remember Evening Magazine back in the days?
I think so. Okay,
you guys are a little bit younger than me. So they had this show called Evening Magazine that they would come out like on a Wednesday, and they would talk about Bay Area shit. And they had an article. They did an interview on the homies on there too, bro, and it was kind of cool. Like I said, bro, they gave us a T-shirt that said "I'm in the movie The Principal." Fuck, I didn't wear that motherfucker not once, bro. I used that motherfucker to clean my rims. You know what I mean? I used it. Yeah, I was like, I'm already hood. I'm already hood celebrity. I don't need.
Somebody said Channel 5 Evening Magazine.
It was called. No, not Evening Magazine. It was called. Yeah, it was Evening Magazine. Yeah, maybe it was Channel 5. It was back in the days.
I remember seeing something on HBO one time where they interviewed all the homies from 38. You know what I mean?
That
While
might
they,
have been the snippet from there, but it was Evening Magazine back in the days. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if it was Channel 5. I can't remember, but I was back in '87, bro.
Hey,
A
but
lot of these people,
we're gonna
a
have
lot of
to
these
have you
people
on
was,
treat.
a lot of these people were still swimming. They were swimming. You know what I mean?
I was little, bro, when the principal was filmed. I was 10 years old, bro. But I remember the big deal everybody made about it when it came out. Like everybody
Yeah.
made a big deal about that movie. Oh,
No.
let's see the movie in Oakland. All the homies are gonna be in it.
Hey, bro, check it out. We rented a limo. They had the back in the days they had the movies only came out on Fridays, right?
Yeah.
So they had the sneak preview for all the extras and their family at the Grand Lake Theater.
Oh yeah, at the
And
Grand Lake. Yeah.
that's a well-known theater. So
Look
we
at
rented
this.
a limo.
Look at this, fool. Hey, look, I blocked this at the Cesar Chavez event, the Grand Lake. Look.
Oh yeah, that's clean.
That's
Clean.
sick, yeah.
Yeah.
Who did that right there?
So we rented a limo and we rode up there, right? And Eastside Morales, he's the only actor that came to the actual thing. He comes pulling up in this little Volkswagen, a Beetle, fucking Herbie the Love Bug and shit. And he's in the cut, but he's all, he's got his tuxedo on, he's looking dapper, like that picture that I post once in a while. The
Oh
Throwback
yeah, I
Thursday.
seen the picture. Yep.
Yeah, and then we're like, hey, how'd you get here? And he's like, he points to the car, and we're like, fuck that. Come on, get in the fucking limo with us. And we went to the Oakland Hyatt after because they threw like they fed us and they had drinks and shit. I mean, even though we weren't even 21 yet, bro. We were young. We couldn't buy no alcohol from them, but we brought our own. So
Yeah,
it was a good experience. Like I said, bro.
How was Eastside Morales? Was he cool?
Oh, he was cool, bro. I always thought he had a little sugar in his tank. So I used to fuck with him, bro. He used to call me Shorty because I'm tall, right? And I used to call him West Side because his name's East Side. So I used to call him West Side. Be like, "What's up, West Side?" And he'd come, "What's up, Shorty?" And I would tell him, "Hey, bro." I would tell him, "All right, you're an actor. Okay, well, play this." And he'd do it. I'd be like, "Play an Italian mobster," and he'd do it. I'd be like, "Well, play like a Poindexter dude." He'd be all intellectual. Then I said, I told him to play a Joto, right? And he did that to the T.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa.
What about Jacob Vargas? Did you ever got to meet him?
Yeah, Jacob Vargas was just a little boy. I want to say
he was
that might
young
have
in
been
that movie.
he was in the movie, but he wasn't famous. He was just a little kid.
Yeah.
I want to say that I could be wrong, but that was probably one of his first movies that he ever came out with because he was just a little kid, bro. He was young. We met him, but I didn't, he wasn't nobody back then. He was just like, fuck is this little kid? That's what to me. I was like, who's this guy?
Chong's daughter
Ray Down Chong. She gave me her autograph. She said, turn around, big guy. Let me use your back. Mm-hmm. And she used my back as a table and she signed this little piece of paper that had like the info from the movie, and she signed that. And then James Belushi was cool as fuck, bro. He was hella cool. They all interacted with us except for Lou Gossett Jr. He's the only one that was strictly business. He just come in his all black fucking BMW, fucking pull in, do his thing, and he cut. He never interacted with us, maybe once. Yeah. So remember Little Wine? Gopher's brother, rest in peace, Little Wine.
Yeah, I think I remember him. I mean, I know who Gopher is.
Little Wine used to call him, because he was in the movie too. Little Wine used to call him Lou Tossup Jr. You know what I mean? Because the way he was like, that's Lou Tossup Jr. He don't even want to kick it with us. He thinks he's too good. But like James Belushi was crazy. James Belushi, the way he acts in the movies, you know how he's a little on the crazy side. He's just like that in real life, bro. He was hella cool, bro. Cool. He was a cool dude, man. He was hella cool. He fucked with us. They all did pretty much, except for Lou Gossett and Ray Down Chong a little bit. She was in and out. She was busy, but she still would interact with it. But Eastside did a lot with us, and James Belushi, which I thought was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, we would have to. Sometimes it would be like, all right, we're gonna do the same scene in the school tomorrow, so you guys wear the same clothes. Don't change your clothes. It'd be all right, and then we'd get there, and they'd be like, well, the producer changed his mind. We're gonna do a different scene. But if you guys want to get paid, you guys just hang out for the day. It was like a job. or you guys could leave and you won't get paid.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
We were young. We were chilling. We go to the store, buy some 40s.
You guys were all cholo down in the movie. Was that clothes they bought for you guys, or was that your
Because that
clothes?
was the look back then. That was in '87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, did they buy you guys that clothes, or was it your guys'
no, that
clothes?
was all. They didn't buy us shit, bro. They didn't buy us none, but they fed us and they paid us, bro. They didn't. That was all our personal gear.
Okay.
I had
That's
a jacket. I had a gel jacket that I had stole from old Santa Rita that before they got stamped. I double bagged it and I brought it home, and that's the jacket that I was wearing in that scene.
Oh, the Santa Rita jacket.
3/4, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a real, actual county jacket. You know what I mean? Before they stamped it.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, shit, because you know what I mean? I knew some homies. They knew some homies, and I got it. And fucking, I double bagged it with my property on the way home. And I was like, shit, I'm taking that motherfucker home with me.
Yeah. Cool.
Hey, for those that don't know, Sergio's the one guarding the door.
Where in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the one that stands up and it says 38 in the background.
Yeah, they had me and Nate. It was Nate too. It was me and Nate in the body shop scene. I'm like in about 3, maybe 4 scenes, but if you blink, you'll miss me in the other ones. You know what I'm saying? That's how fast it is. That's the one that you really see me when the body shop. We stand up because he's walking up with the bat.
Yeah.
New bike, and we stood up like, what the fuck? And we're looking at him, and then like the big 38 that's on the wall. The homie Joker did that, and then Nate and them, they're in the body shop scene, but like Joker's in it. Eastside Morales.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that Joker did that, huh?
Yeah, they're in that scene too. But
I didn't know that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joker's in there, but he had hair back then.
Yeah, I recognize Joker. I've seen him in a couple scenes.
Yeah, he's in a couple scenes, bro. He's in that movie, but we're young, like I said. You know what I mean? We look different. We were young.
Yeah,
people don't. They go, "Fuck, that was you, sir." He goes, "But you had hair." I go, "Yeah, I had hair back then." I still got hair. It's just gray, bro. So I shave it off bald. Fuck it. I don't want no Grecian formula, bro. Everybody's like, dye your mustache. I go, for what? Dye is for fucking women, huh? Women do that shit, bro.
Bro, you look a lot like my brother, bro. Treetop.
Oh no, hey, they always used to say, man, hey, you guys brothers? I was like, hell no, that little short, ugly motherfucker, man, that ain't my brother. And they're like,
hey, this fool, he looks like my brother, bro.
Is that right?
Freaky, actually.
Yeah, they used to think. I would always get hit up. Hey, bro, you got a brother named TJ? Like, nah. Or they used to think I was one of the. They would hit me up. They go, hey, are you in Avalos? And I'm like, they couldn't. Sometimes they wouldn't say it right. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? They thought I was one of the twins, and I got, nah. Those are identical twins. I guess I hung around them so much they thought I was fucking one of their brothers. Like one time we were in Actually, we were in Victor Irish home.
I'll be right back, bro.
And we were in El Monte, right? And we had to go to the store to get some hygiene.
No shit.
We walking out, just us 3, right? We walk out.
Yeah.
3 bad little cholitas are walking in. There are 4 of them, and they just stopped in their tracks, and they're like, "Fuck!" They were starstruck. They were like, "Fuck! Where you guys from? You guys ain't from around here." And we were like, nah, we told them where we're from. And they were like, are you guys triplets? And I was like laughing, bro. I was like, nah, them 2 are identical twins, but I'm just a good homeboy. You know what I mean? We're all homeboys. We grew up together, so they would think they were brothers and shit. You know how they say you hang around a motherfucker long. You hang around a motherfucker long enough, they start thinking you're related.
He started looking like them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I tried not to hang around with you, man. I started looking like you.
Hey, but like I was telling the Homie Raza del Soul, like Oakland gets like people say that we want to be black and that we don't have Chicanoism in us. And I tell Raza del Soul,
I get mad when they do that, bro. I was like, what? I said, bro, I bet you I speak better Spanish than you, motherfucker, or you probably don't even speak Spanish. What are you talking about? Like, now there's a lot of Raza movement, especially back in the days, bro.
Yeah.
Well, we had that shit sold up, bro. East
14, that's what I was.
Quarter Pounder Days, San Antonio Park. We had all Aslan Imperials that are out of San Antonio. That's an original Oakland car club. You know that, right? I don't know if you knew that, but now you
No,
know.
I didn't
Bro.
know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I even hit up the president because I know him. But the first time when I first met him, I hit him up. I went to a 408 Riders barbecue out there, and they were there, and I was like, I went up to him and I said, "Hey, homie, you know that's an Oakland car club originally, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's what I heard." He goes, do you know any of the original members?" And I was like, "Boy, I was like 12 years old going to San Antonio Park. I was 12, 13 years old. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I didn't know them. The dudes were already in their 20s. They were older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember that name, you know what I mean?
But like I was telling Raza del Soul, like a lot of the Cholo influence that I picked up, bro, was from Oakland when I was a kid, seeing all you fools in Pendletons and all that shit, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And all that, bro. Like
Yeah.
that influenced me, bro.
No, it was deep back then, bro. I mean, we were like the original, like in my growing up days, it wasn't too much as far as like the North and South, too bad. You know, we knew who they were, they knew who we were, but like as far as like can't wear blue and da 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 da.
Yeah,
I got
everybody wore
pictures
whatever.
where I'm wearing baby blue, like the YA, remember the YA shirts, the baby blue ones?
Yeah.
Just because, we wanted that jailhouse look, but later in life, why you wearing that? And it's like, dude, come on, man. It's just a fucking, then the 90s it started getting hectic. But by then
Yeah.
I was already fucking in the system, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I lost a lot of years through that, bro. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? It's learning experience, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's why I
probably
do
kept
Oakland.
probably kept me from a lot of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why I do Oakland Latinos United, bro, to preserve that history, bro. And
Yeah.
No, yeah,
It's important, man.
and that's a beautiful thing, bro. Because both
Yeah.
really too, both you guys are both doing the same, shit, and different towns, whatever. It doesn't matter where you're
Yeah.
from, bro. As long as you
yeah,
keep
for sure.
the cultura alive, bro. And even
Yeah.
when I was younger, bro, I was always more for like the raza and our own people. Like I went
Yeah.
in high school. I had a class and the teacher, he didn't like me. He was a football teacher, right? And he wanted me to be on the team. And I was like, fuck you and your team. I ain't wearing that tight ass shit. You want to be on a football team, right? I was like, I ain't trying to, I'm cool. So he was like, hey, I want you to do a essay on another culture other than yours. And I was like, sorry, coach. I said, man, no disrespect to anybody's culture, but I want to know mine first. And I'm going to do my essay on mine.
Yeah.
And then I'll do one on another. But I'm gonna do it just so I don't get an F. That motherfucker gave me an A minus, bro. You know what I mean? He didn't want to, but it was that good. I mean,
That's
obviously
right.
it was good. You know what I mean? So, because he kind of used to, because I was always the class clown. So fucking, he didn't like me because of that. And then he was like, "Hey, you ever try to?"
Serge ain't never done the same. Serge's been talking shit.
So he was like, "Hey." He's like,
Man,
hey, you ever want to be on a football
trying to
team?
buy his t-shirt.
Huh?
I said, that fool be giving me a hard time when I want to buy his t-shirts.
Oh no! This last time, I was, and I apologize for that, bro.
I know, bro. I know,
bad mood.
Joke, bro.
I was in a bad mood because right when I got there, they tried to tell me that I couldn't set up where I usually set up, and I go, why? And they were like, because the lowriders are coming through there. And I was like, well, then I'll wait for the cars to come in first, and then I'll set up. And then I thought about it, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go over here in the grass area and just post over there so I don't be in nobody's way. But at first I was like, fuck that. This is my park. This is my hood. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. Ain't nobody gonna tell me where I can and what I can't do. You know what I mean? That was where I was just kind of. So when he came up and was I was already, I was a hot already still. So I was kind of venting out on people. But I apologize for that, man.
No, it's all good, bro.
Yeah.
It's all good. But hey, man, I'd like to get you back on Treetop in the future. Definitely give me about a week, bro, and I'll let you know, bro. We could do it exactly doing it now.
Yeah, just call me and we'll elaborate on some time, bro, because I know you're busy. I'm busy. We're all,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been really busy lately, actually. But yeah, it's getting that time, bro. And then my brother's asleep. I gotta kind of keep it down.
No,
so
I wanted to tell you, Matt, about the oldie show. Yeah, it is. It's at the old. Remember they used to have on first Fridays before COVID hit. They used to have them in downtown Oakland at the Upton.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Same place, different name. It's right there by 19th and Telegraph. It's called the Crybaby or some shit, but it's gonna be this Friday.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna be there, bro. But I was talking to the dude because I was the one that got him to start vending at the things to get some vendors in. So the first time they had vendors, I was on board with a couple other cats. But he said they got it's a new owners. They're kind of hipsters. So I was like, fuck it, bro. But I said, show me them hipsters. I bet you I'll get them to fucking. I'll put some shit in their head. Like, dude, you guys will make more money. More people will come. More money for you. I mean, think about it. It's a win-win situation.
You got to get Bobby in that bitch. He'll get people out there for sure.
Bro, I mean, don't let me get a hold of the owners because I'll watch, bro. Next month we'll have vendors. I'm gonna be on the top. I'm gonna be on the line.
Spoken
bro.
like a true Oakland Nero, huh?
Ya sabes, carnal. Ya sabes, carnal. Hey, much love and respect to both of you, man. When I got that gift of gab, bro. I mean, hey, might as well use it, right?
Might as well.
Yeah.
They're like, damn, you sell everything. I tell them I sell ice to an Eskimo. Shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
all right, carnal. You guys have a buenas noches, bro.
All right, buenas noches.
Man, it was good. Gracias for having me out here.
All right.
We'll tap in next time, bro.
Big Qvals, eh?
Big Qvals.
Hey,
Biggie's up too.
Ya sabes, that east side, oh boy. Ya sabes.
All right,
east side open.
Ya sabes, oh boy. Órale, buenas noches.
All right, buenas noches.
Rato. How do I get out this bitch?
You still on here?
How do I get out this bitch?
I'll get you off. Hey, Raza del Soul, tap in real quick, bro. I'll send you the link, because I wanted to give you a last word. My bad, bro. You got cut off. Hold on. If you're still on here, bro, tap in real quick. Raza del Soul. I just put the link. So if you're still on here, tap in real quick, bro, because I wanted to get one last word from you. That's how I end my lives usually. So he don't want to leave. He's having too much fun. Where's Raza del Soul? You still on here, bro? You on here? Get back on. I think you clicked off. I put the link if you want to jump in for a minute. If not, I guess I'll end the live without you. But I wanted to get a last word from you. Did he cut? He probably cut. I think he thought I was just gonna end it. I should have been more specific. But anyway, that was the homie Surge, Big Surge, Treetop. I bought this t-shirt off him. I bought that other Ben Friedman t-shirt off him too that I have. I've worn it a couple of times. There's no South Oakland. Yeah, there's no such thing as a South Oakland. But yeah, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed that live. I'm gonna try to get more people on here to interview. You know what I mean? It won't just be live with me talking. You might see my fat mouth talking, but you know what I mean? I'm going to try to get Big Mike to come on here as well. But me and him were talking yesterday. We were talking about some serious stuff. So he's a really deep dude like me, bro. So I'm going to hit him up too and see if he wants to do an interview too. And I'm going to have the homie Surge from Eastside Oakland from the 30s on here. You know what I mean? And too bad, Raza del Soul. Are you still out there, man? Let me know if you're out there in the comments. Yeah, homeboy was from 38. But yeah, that was a good live with the homie Raza del Soul, bro. He's a deep dude, very proud of his Chicano heritage, just like I am, down for La Raza, doing his work out in San Jose. He does oldie shows, he does community work. So I'm glad that I got him on. Me and him have actually been talking about working together on something on my channel for a while now. So I am glad that it happened tonight. And once again, if you guys want to help me out in any way, you guys can support to the cause. I'm gonna leave my IG, my Cash App So if you want to donate anything, there's a Cash App link. But yeah, I'm really glad that the homies came on today. You know, we got to talking, and you know, you seen a homie from San Juan, you see the OG homie from Oakland. You feel me? That I grew up knowing since I was a little kid. So you feel me? Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And too bad Raza del Soul clicked off. I didn't click him off. I think he clicked off. But if you're watching, bro, thanks for coming on. Glad to have you on. Hey, thanks, Serge, for coming on too. Hopefully, I'll have you soon on here, bro. Well, because next week I'm gonna do an interview with another homie, and after that, you know what I mean. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get off this. So you guys have a good night, and hopefully you enjoyed this live. I'm gonna try to have more lives where I interview people from the community and from the hoods. You know what I mean? But if you guys want to donate, like I said, I left my Cash App right there. You guys be safe. Oakland Latinos United, Live with Jay, episode 63. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And keep telling people about my channel, subscribe, share my videos, and like me on IG, like me on Facebook, and you know, let people know. All right, y'all. I gotta get some sleep. I was up all night and I barely got any sleep when I got home. I maybe slept for like 5 hours, so I am a little tired. So gracias to Raza del Soul, gracias to Serge, you know, gracias to that hater who came on here with his stupid with his nonsense. But you know, unfortunately we have retarded individuals out there. Gracias to Shortcuts, Mike Wallace, Don Suave, the homies from out there in LA, Ron Garcia, Puppet from out there from Watts, Compton area, you know, Esepeda, and everybody else who tapped in, baby girl Wendy, who was on here earlier, and everybody else. Thank you guys for coming on and supporting. And like I said, just keep supporting my channel and let people know. Let's blow up Oakland Latinos United. And I'm gonna keep on bringing future interviews and future content for you guys. All right, y'all. You guys be safe. Late and over.